Hello, welcome to Easy Tarot, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about what is self love. For no apparent reason, I'm going to use English language in this video, and maybe if at all I get requests or people want to know the same language, the same messages in Hindi language, maybe I would do that at the same time. I mean, after this video, obviously, but we'll see where it goes, because there's a lot of concepts that I want to talk about which we naturally feel it's comfortable to talk in English, and therefore here I am and here you are. Welcome to everybody who is here. I'm really grateful that you guys are here, and I love to talk with you. I love to connect with you. I love to share what I have learned in my life personally, and I love to, yeah, just let it out. I love to guide you as much as I can, and if it helps you, I really feel good, and um, that's basically my motive for any of the videos that I make, to help you guys and make you feel better. It doesn't mean that you have to be helped throughout your life or something. It doesn't have to be just an advice for a lot of you. Even if you are just listening to it for fun and for that 15 minutes of your time, you are feeling good, you know what I mean? Just like in general, if you're feeling uplifted, that's like my main goal. I just would love to know that, and I appreciate all the feedbacks that you give me for my videos. And yes, so every one of you who is giving me feedbacks or comments, thank you in advance. Okay, and yeah, let's begin. So, self love, it's a complicated subject, not because it is complicated within itself, but because a lot of people have been saying the messages about self love that is truly not true or genuine. It is coming from the commercial point of view, to be very honest. What do I mean by that is advertisements have started giving us especially women, the concept of self-love with the help of, you know what, you have been doing all the work, you have been doing all the you have been taking care of all the people in your households, you have given everyone what they need. Now it's time for you to take care of yourself. And how would you take care of yourself is, you know what, buy our products. You know, literally, buy this cream to make you feel younger, make you feel like you're freshened up or something. Buy this face wash, buy this what is it, any kind of makeup products. You deserve to have self-love, you deserve to have self-care. And how you do it is by coming to a spa, getting a massage, doing a facial or something. In other words, this is all the publicity, and it's not public, it is just the advertisement stunt that people have done, and have been doing for the sole purpose of selling their product. Unfortunately, a lot of people have taken this seriously, and what they believed is, yes, this is what self love is, this is what self care is, and obviously, we have all been the part of it. We unfortunately believed that this is what self love means. Then, you know what, I have to take a Sunday off for myself, I have to do facial and everything. And once you do facial, once you do all this stunts that the advertisement people have been showing us, um, we ultimately feel more sad, more drained out, more tired, because this is a tiring process. This is what takes our energy to take care of our looks. You know what is more bad about these advertisements is the simple fact that I believe, at least this is my belief, whatever I'm saying in this video, just as a disclaimer, I have to let you notice that this is my belief, my point of view, and I might be wrong as well. Obviously, I do not believe I'm wrong, but you have to listen to this, okay? All the ads that has been made for women are being made and produced or directed. The idea of the advertisement is created by men, Okay, this is not a bad thing. Obviously, men can do it. But this is the bad thing comes over here. This is created by misogynistic men. The men who cares only about females' looks. Do you know where I'm getting with this? The men who do not care about how women feels, the men who do not care or give an F about how women, what is the emotional state of the woman. If woman is tired, I believe that this is the time that we should give them rest. And if there are genuine men out there, there are decent gentlemen out there, and I'm really grateful and happy for them. And some are here in our channel as well. There are so many comments that I've seen in this channel that just lightens my day up, because in bunch of like 90% of the people, if they are misogynistic or if they are like negatively patriotic, sorry, patriarchal mindset of the people, in other words misogynistic only, I would like to say that um, if there are people who feel that they are entitled for women's like women's energy or their care or blah 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 or their attention or whatever, so these are the type of men, if they are out there, and I have seen them a lot of times. Obviously every one of us has encountered these men, but when I see even a comment from genuine person, from genuine male, it from the decent guys, it just lightens my day up. It just makes me believe in humanity once again. So yes, there are a lot of people, and if there were good gentlemen out there, they wouldn't be saying if a woman is tired, if a woman has been doing a lot of work, if a woman has been, taking care of the house, cleaning the house, and taking care of the family members all the time, and if she needs to rest, you know what she needs to do? She needs to take care of her looks now, because now she doesn't look good in that bun, now she doesn't look good in that pajamas, now she doesn't look good while she's working, she's all dirty and she's not attractive at all. She needs to, work out a little bit, she needs to do facial or something, because she has to look attractive for me. That is not how decent gentlemen work. Like, that's not the brain of how decent men act like. Who are decent men? If you are asking this question, they are genuinely someone who cares, genuinely someone who has empathy, who feels humanity towards women. Like misogynistic men can feel humanity, no wonder, but they can only feel humanity towards their sisters. They can feel humanity towards other men, but they cannot feel humanity towards their partners. And that is why these are the ads that is coming out, and this is so not self-love. And if the ads would have been made from a decent guy's point of view, the decent guys wouldn't say something like, you know what, women, go ahead and do something for your face, like look attractive. That's not what decent guys would think about. The decent guys would always encourage other decent guys. They would always target other guys as an advice point of view, saying, you know what, your lady has done everything for you, your lady is now tired, this is a Sunday, let her take a day off, do all the chores for yourself, do all the cooking and stuff for yourself, or maybe take her out for dinner if you cannot do it for yourself. This is definitely something she needs. She needs to rest, she needs to take a break. We men get a break all the time. We men are just, like, obviously, um I'm talking about the men who just works in the corporate, or who just works in the career and then um, doesn't follow up in the household activity at all. I'm talking about them, not like 100% all the men. But yes, we men are going to do work and career, and we know and value the importance of break. And being a housewife is something that they do not get any break from, and that's why we need to help them at least once every week. Let them have their day off if we can, as much as we can. We should do that. So this is the type of advertisements that a gentleman would do. And trust me, if there is any gentleman who is listening to this, decent guys or gentlemen who is listening to this video, they would also agree to this stuff. And I would encourage you guys to let me know your opinion. Let other female know your opinion, because this is what is this kind of like submerges a little bit. Like, we cannot see a decent guy a lot of times, and you need to come out more. You need to talk about who you are. You need to let us know that you are someone who exists, and definitely you are worth much more value than that of anyone, obviously, right? Those who are respectful deserves all the respect too. Same, that's what I'm talking to the decent guys in this channel right now. But obviously this message is basically towards women. I don't know how much gender neutral this message is going to be, because I have not seen any self-care type of advice coming from men talking about cosmetics or something, you know what I mean? And I believe I'm basically telling it to all my fellow sisters out there, soul sisters. I don't know whoever we are, you know. So this is what I wanted to let you know first before I even start with the self-love topic. Is for you to understand what we are learning about self-love from the internet or from the you know TV shows, sorry, commercials. It's not true. Coming from it's coming from a very, very bad point of view. It's coming from someone who does not care about women in the first place. So as a woman who has been practicing self love. And also, I would like to tell you this as a disclaimer at the same time, that I am learning even more. Okay, it's not something that you can, at least in my life, I cannot guarantee you that I have learned it 100%. There's nothing more to learn in this sector or something like that. But on the contrary, I am still learning about what is self love. So, what I'm saying to you guys right now is what I have learned and what I have practiced for enough amount of the time that I am confident that this is self love, that I'm confident now that this does feel good and this is right. Okay. Basically, it works for me. And if it works for me, it will work for someone of you out there. I would still encourage you to do a trial and error methods. You can try this. If this works for you, good for you. If it doesn't work for you, try something else. But do not settle down for something that doesn't feel good. You know what I mean? If it doesn't feel good to you, if it doesn't feel right, it is not. It is not self love. It is not. It is not right. If it doesn't feel right, it is not right. Like, for example, whenever we do, at least in my life, whenever I did the facial or something during the Sundays and then work and all that, there was a time that I would do an online job, and my time was completely packed. In the morning, I would do online job right before going out for a full-time job. And when I did go to the full-time job, obviously I was giving my 100% there, and I came back. I would do the online job once again right before sleeping. So my weekdays were completely packed like this, and during the Sundays, Saturdays and Sundays, that was whenever I got the um, day off, I would do something else that was part-time. And again, like, I was like completely, my whole day was packed up like anything. And I would so not recommend you doing this because I ended up burning out. This is not something healthy. This is not something right. This is not something that I would ever recommend any one of you doing this. Do not go for two jobs at the same time. Do not go for like five jobs at the same time. Do not do that. I've tried this and I burnt out at the end of the day. Like not at the end of the day, but at the end, or like uh, like I burnt out. It was years. In like 5 years, I burnt out like, at least 2 to 3 times, and then I was like dysfunctional. I couldn't get myself out of bed. I couldn't do anything. I was just sick, like a maniac, I would say. I don't know. I felt like a maniac because I mean, not like a maniac, but you know what I mean. Like I felt very weak. I felt very bad for being sick too. So yeah, I would not recommend doing this. But yeah, and but this time, someone recommending me to do like for the 20 minutes of the time that I have in my life. And also keep in mind that I'm obviously a lady who does the home chores as well. I have certain assigned jobs. Um, I think I love the system in my house. There's an assigned job for everybody, and everybody does their own part, and also I do my own part. So yeah, so my assigned jobs, I would do that. So it's like literally energetically, like physical energy wise, I'm just to the edge. If I sleep, I sleep. If I eat, I eat. That's what it is, and nothing else. No, I don't know how I managed that time period, but I genuinely don't understand anything right now. Now my heads are like completely like, oh my god, how did you do that? I mean, I am questioning this thing to myself. I don't know. Anyway, um, so yeah, during that time, if someone would ask me to do the facial as a self care, I tried because I was obviously I understood that I'm exhausted. I understood that this is not feeling right. I'm tired and exhausted all the time. What should I do? And I was like, okay, you know what? Today I'm going to do facial. Today I'm going to do pedicure, manicure, or something like that. And I was doing it, and then that felt wrong. You know what I mean? So if it feels wrong, that is wrong. Okay, if it feels right, this is right. Like I did everything I could. Why am I feeling tired even now? Like that's what my reaction was. Always trust your feelings, ladies. Always trust your feelings. At least I have to tell you guys, um, as a lady, I don't know. The world doesn't. I don't know. It's not just about ladies. It's also about men. Sometimes I have to, but I'm okay. It is for everyone out there. Our emotions are not considered. Like for example, if a man is having sickness, that has been considered, that has been understood. There is also sick leaves from the government, because this is like understood on the universal level. But when it comes to women having sickness, women still have to work. Women still have to like, come on, you are a housewife. What are you doing if you're not even doing your job of being, you're just home all the time? What are you doing? Like, this is a physical labor. There's a difference between physical labor, and there's a difference between just going to the office and sitting and working. And still the person who sits and work is complaining about um, how it's not supposed to be exhausting to do a physical labor in our own house. So our yeah, I think this is directed towards female itself. um I mean, I was just thinking whether this is gender neutral messages or not. No, this is not. This is completely directed towards my beautiful ladies out there. um and so, like, the same flu, This is the internet joke around. Men's have different flu. Men's flu is really important. Men's flu is, men having flu is really, really, really bad, really, really bad. And when it comes to female flu, yeah, yeah, they can manage. This is nothing. This is just a teeny bit of the pain that they are suffering. So what? There's that. And this is just the start of it. This is still sickness. This is still sickness, and still, like, this is something that is like common on the grounds of female and male. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about periods. Periods is not something, or pregnancy, it's not something that is common between male and female. And male have difficulty understanding how much hard it is for female during periods or during pregnancy, right? And it's not just about, like, you do not have it anatomically and that's why you are not understanding it. It's not just that. They just lack sympathy sometimes. The flu or the sickness, even if it is sickness, that is something that male experiences too. They have it anatomically, biologically, they do go through it, but still the importance goes to men when they are feeling sick, and female are, just completely disregarded. And I call it a slave mentality. I do. Like, you are a slave, you are supposed to work, and not like a healthy slave, okay? Healthy. There are some slaves that has been given sick leaves, and what I'm talking about is earlier, during the, I mean, I don't know, I'm talking about ancient history. That's when the discrimination was too much. That's when people didn't understand that people are human. It doesn't matter what their color is, where they are born, or this is something that has happened worldwide. And therefore, even if you are sick, it doesn't matter. We are supposed to work. And that's the kind of enslavement I'm talking about. There's the attitude of enslavement towards women, and this is not right. And I do not want to change men or men's attitude towards it, because this will never happen. I'm not saying that this would never happen like that, but what I'm asking you ladies to do is to understand that you are not slave of anyone. You are not. You are equal to that of men. You have to acknowledge it by yourself. You have to take your own stand. And once you do, trust me, your life will change. This message has been beautifully provided within the movie called English Winglish. I would highly recommend you to watch that. But this is you who change your life. This is why I'm saying this message to you, so that you understand. Okay? But how did I get this? Like, how am I talking about this? Anyway, choice. I was talking about self love, and suddenly I'm like, talking about something else. I don't understand. Um, Let me think back. Though this is also about self love, to understand that my sickness is real, my problems are real, my struggles are real, and this does not feel good. And it does not matter whether others understand it or not. I am the person who understands myself, and I will rest how much ever I need to. And if the physical environment of yours doesn't allow you to rest the way you need it, like, for example, you are, in a home where, for example, I don't mean to say it in a negative way, but this is something that I just channel, so I have to let you know this. Where your husband is constantly saying all the wrong things to you, just because you are sick, and then you are sleeping, and then he completely He comes to you all the time. He's disturbing you all the time. He wants you to do your chores. He's accusing you or treating you badly because you are sleeping. If he is constantly doing that, just change your environment. Just change it. I don't know where you go. I don't care where you go. If you're an earning member, obviously you can go to a hotel and then you can sleep there. Who cares? You just want to sleep. Acknowledge yourself, acknowledge your rights. This is human rights. This is your rights. This is what is self love. To understand, I need something. It doesn't matter. Okay, I need to sleep, but I also need to sleep peacefully. And if this environment doesn't allow me to, I would find an environment that will. And there was this movie, I just channeled that right now. And there was this movie I watched, Sex in the City. And there was one lady who had kids and who was really frustrated and tired and burnt out, looking after her kids all the time. And she was also feeling really guilty about feeling these things. But guys, girls, you do not have to feel guilty about feeling tired. This is the very sick mentality of people saying that, you know what, you are the mother, you take all the responsibilities of the baby. No. Why are you here then? Just to see us take responsibility of the baby? Then I would rather be alone. This is so wrong. You are a parent too. Just because I gave birth doesn't mean that I am just a parent of the baby. If you do not want to take the responsibility as a parent, you have to go. Or I will go. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just sensitive about this topic too, as I'm sensitive about a lot of topic, because this is wrong. And now it's time that people understand that this is wrong. Women are not the responsibility of the baby. Parents are the responsibility of the baby. Or not just financial responsibility. Fathers are not just financial responsibilities of the baby. They are supposed to be emotionally available, attentive to the baby, and also give whatever they need, whatever the baby needs. And this is why I believe that I genuinely do not remember the movie, but this is why I believe the woman was really exhausted, because the whole responsibility of the baby was given to the woman in the first place. This is not right. If you want a baby, you should also take the responsibility for the baby, for all the boys. Um, Obviously, not for all the decent boys out there, but still. If you do not want the baby, do not have the baby. Just get the baby abort it or something. And I wouldn't feel bad about aborting that baby, because the baby, it's not just about the well-being of a mother. This is a bigger picture, guys. The baby is growing up without the love of the father. Even if the father is there, the baby grows up having an unavailable father. And how does that end up? We all know that well. At least a lot of us know that well. I have had a lot of friends in my life who has had an emotionally unavailable father. Just because they want to be strict, they want to do their own job, and then they do not want to take care of the baby. They do not care about bonding with their baby, with their own baby, with their baby. I want to emphasize this because this is a real serious issue, and this need to be addressed. And if any of you are mothers right now, or if any of you want to be mothers in the future, I want you guys to know that the baby is not the responsibility of a mother. The baby is the responsibility of the family. The family, the whole family. It includes father as well. And yes, I'm angry. And even though this thing happens with the women, they do not still blame. It's not about blaming. They do not still understand that this is because of the lack of care that is being provided by the father to the mother and to the baby. The baby's life is fucked up once she or he or they, I don't know, whoever the baby is, grows up without their father's love. It affects the whole life of the baby. This is there's a serious topic about this, talked with all the psychologists in the internet, saying about daddy issues. If women, especially if women has an unavailable father, they are most likely to fall in love or marry someone who is unavailable. That just naturally fucking happens. This is not right. This needs to change, and this has to change. And what primarily what has to change is us to understand, us women to understand that it is not just a responsibility of mine, and us women to accept the help of the men that are here. Okay, like some women are just control freak. I have to say this. Okay, this is the fault of women in this example that I'm saying. They are just control freak. They do not like how the husband is changing the diaper. They do not like how the husband is taking care of the baby. They do not like how the husband is, wrapping the baby up. They have to do it by themselves. They are like, no, that's not how you do it. This is how you do it. And then they interfere, the husband, all the time, over and over. They do not let the husband be who they are. And this is the issue of the female. This is the control freak issue of the female. This is where I have been through as well. We all have this control freak side of us. We do not have to. This is one of the messages for self love. We just have to relax. We just have to let that happen. When it comes to male, I'll tell you this. When it comes to male, and when they decide, this is the job that needs to be done, they just think about the end goal. They do not care how you reach there. They do not care what you do. They do not care about the micromanaging of the steps of the process. They do not care about the process. They just care about the end goal. And once the end goal is done, you know they're happy. That's what they wanted. That's what happened. Fine, finish. And that should be our attitude too. We should be more relaxed. We should be more, not should be doesn't sound very good. We can be more relaxed, ladies. You can be more relaxed. You can let go. Now it's time to let go. Now, yes, now. It doesn't matter whether you have a baby or not. This is not about the baby. This is about the attitude we have with our life. Like for example, cutting the vegetables. I have this attitude, cutting the vegetables is supposed to be, only small dices, or it should be slices, or like I have this thing, steps in my head. And if it's not the way I want it to be, I freak out. Okay, I'll give you one another example. Yeah. Every time I would clean the house, okay, um, I would do it twice because that made me feel good. That actually primarily made my mom feel good. And then that naturally developed as my own habit. But as I said earlier about my burnout process, right? So I was burnt out. I couldn't do anything for a long time. And I was recovering. Now, when I was recovering, um, there was this process where I couldn't do things like I was able to do before. Um, like I didn't had like 100% energy at all, like that of my past, before the job and all started. the energy that I had was not even 80%. It was like 20% of the energy that was left in me. And I was trying to manage everything and trying to do household works with the 20% that I had. And I'll give you two examples over here. One thing is when I would, usually, when I would do the folding work of the clothes, I would usually stand up and I would fold the clothes. And then, you know, I just realized this is my way of doing it. This was me who told myself that this is how it's supposed to be done. This is how it's better to do, because once you stand up and do the clothes folding thing, it is much faster, it is much more effective, you have more space and stuff like that. This was what I told myself. But as I said earlier, I didn't had a lot of energy, and my legs were also paining. I had a lot of pain in my body overall in general. And then I was like, you know what, I don't care. It was me who said these rules to myself. Now I allow myself to just be, um to just sit down and then do the clothes. And then I would, from there on, I would, whenever I needed to sit down and do the clothes folding thing, I would do it. I would sit, I would fold the clothes, and I would be much more happier with that comparatively. Obviously, I was not 100% happy because I was not 100% recovered at all. But this was much, 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 much better because I gave myself that break that I needed. I let myself mend the rule. I let myself. Mm, I allowed myself to be who I am, to be a person who is in pain, to be a person who was ill, to be a person who was stressed out, to be a person who didn't had any energy. I allowed myself, I accepted myself like that. I accepted myself, and I would call this phase of mine a handicapped phase, as if not like I was really handicapped, but I wanted to do a lot of things, but I couldn't do a lot of things. That's what I felt like, and most of it was just mental. It was mental problem. It was not even the physical problem. It was the physical manifestation of mental problem. And I allowed myself to do it that way. That's how you let go. That's how you the, let your husband do what they want to do for you. By not being a control freak, by not I'm also telling it about myself, guys. I'm not saying as an attack to anybody. I have been there. I have been a control freak. I have had my own rules of doing things, and I broke my own rules. And when we are to break our own rules, this becomes a much more easier, like 80% more easier task than that of letting others break your rules. And oh my god, funnily enough, I have to let you know, there's this book called Burnout by Emily Nagoski. I want you to read that. Okay, there's this message that Emily has provided in that book. I don't know whether I can talk about this because this might has. I mean, this was the similar issues with her husband. She was like a control freak. She was not let her husband do what the home chores because he would mess it up as per her. But then when she was, she was hospitalized and then she came back. I'm going to recommend this book to you guys because you have to read this. Okay, this is like wonderful book in the world. I mean, it's obviously beautiful. Um, so yeah, she came back and then she was like, she saw all the things that her husband has did for her, and she even thought what she would have done instead of these things. the way that her husband has done was not preferable for the wife, but she was just having this tears in her eyes. She was just pleased because it doesn't matter anymore how the things are done, but this is done and it doesn't matter anymore. That's what she felt. And I want you guys to allow yourselves to feel that way. Do not play by the rules. Do not be like, I have to do it this way, or why don't my husband do it that way? If my husband, like has said that they would, uh, like, why don't my husband take out the, what is it, garbage can to, why don't my husband take out the garbage when I asked him to? Instead, just let them know that you want them to do that, and let them take it in their own time. And I'm telling you this from my personal experience. If you can, please marry someone you trust. I mean, this is a very different energy than that of anything. It's like when you do trust someone, it's a different energy. You know what I mean? You naturally let go. You naturally are very receptive. You naturally are very okay with who they are, what they do, how they do it. You naturally are very loving towards them, and loving other person is almost as same as accepting that person the way they are. And when you do love the other person, you also say that, you know what, your methods are not like my methods, but I'm so okay with it. I'm naturally okay with it. I'm okay with it from all my heart. So sometimes it is us women who doesn't allow our husbands, and this is also portrayed in a movie, um, with Vidya Balan, and there was this guy, Farhan Akhtar. I don't remember the movie's name, but the main plot is they both are happily married. They both would do a lot of physical activities before marriage, and they both would give time to each other before marriage. And suddenly, the woman is pregnant. The woman completely directs her energy towards the baby. She cannot forget about the baby, and the husband tries to ask her for a date. You know what, let's go out for a date. We have done that before marriage, sorry, before the baby has come out, and now it's something that we deserve. Let's have some time off for ourselves. Let the baby be with our mother. And the lady is convinced, the wife is convinced, but then she cannot completely let go, and then she has to call her mother every now and then. Hi, how is the baby doing? And then she could not give her 100% to the husband as well. So, you know like, I don't know, there's something about trusting the universe. There's something about letting go that is just magical in terms of self-love. It is really important to take a time off. It is really important to enjoy our life. It is really important to, um I don't know, do what is right. Oh, I just remember why I gave you this um movie that I just channeled right now. I gave you this channel movie because the specific scene that I saw just now was how the baby was, crying every now and then the husband was trying to fix it. The husband always, it's like 4 to 5 times in a row. Okay, husband woke up first and was trying to fix the baby and was trying to help the baby, but the wife would cut her off. You know what, not, no, you're not doing this right, this is how it's done. And like 5 to 6 times in a row, the wife is like, you don't know it, I'm the one who knows it. And again, that, I'm sorry to say this, if that affects the bond between the father and the baby, Guys, you do not have to mess up that thing. The father is supposed to be with the baby. And I have to tell you something really personal to my heart. I have no idea why I'm talking about baby so much in this channel message, but I am. Um, when I believe I or my sister was born, I have a sister, and I do not know. I believe it's me, okay? When I was born, and my mother was my mother was in the hospital, and every time I would drink milk, I was like, obviously, I was just a newborn baby. Every time I would drink milk, obviously, like the milk comes out of your mouth, you know what I mean? So that would happen to me as a child. And my mom asked my father to, you know what, whenever the she's drooling or whenever she's spilling out the milk, just wipe it off with a dry cloth. And she just gave that one task to the father, and my father, I mean her husband, obviously. And I mean, how she was describing it, my father didn't even tell me about this, okay? It is a good thing that my father did. And like every good deeds that we do not brag about it. And my father didn't ever brag about this, and my mother was bragging about this to me in person alone. And what my mother said was, he was just standing right next to you, and he was constantly looking at you, are you drooling? And then he was just wiping your face every time. And I was so happy with that. So I mean, like, wow. Fathers, like, there it's not just that the mothers love child, okay? Fathers love child as well. They have this soft corner at the same time. They have, in fact, I want to go ahead and say it. My father was the one who was more emotionally available to me from that than that of my mother. Like, he would play with me. I remember all those things when I was child, obviously. He would play with me, and he would, do the drawing and do the homework, everything. It was him. None of it was my mom. My mom only cared about whether I'm eating food or not. The emotional attention part of it, this is reversed, right? This is not what we expect usually. Emotionally attentive are supposed to be mothers, but this is so not true in my case. This is so opposite. My father was the one who was emotionally attentive, but also he couldn't give his best because, um, you know, he was what is it? He was a full time working member. He was working full time in a job. So I don't know. I mean, so this is a real important thing that we allow our husbands to bond with our baby as well, because ultimately when the baby grows up, especially if it's a baby who is going to attract a male partner in her life, her or his or their life, I don't know. It doesn't matter if they are going to attract a male person partner in their life. The emotional connection is directly going to reflect from what the father has taught the child, or what father has given the child. This is also really important that we let them do that. Obviously, this is not the message about that. This is the message about self-love. And self-love, one of the part of self-love is to just let go, and you know let them be who they are. Let the universe be who how it is. Let if we are asking our mothers to take care of the baby, let them take care of the baby. Just trust the process, trust the universe, trust yourself that you will be fine. And also take a stand of yourself. You know what, I'm not feeling well. and I understand my pain. Now I'm more sympathetic towards my periods pain. I whenever I have periods, and if I need it, obviously the pain is it differs at time to time, from time to time. So if I need it, I'll just take two hot water bags, one for my back, one for my stomach, and I'll just take a pillow and sit on the chair, and that's what I do. I've never even considered doing this before, because just because male doesn't understand how important or how painful periods is, it shouldn't be our source, it shouldn't be our base of how much I should care about my body. Just because others do not understand does not mean that that's how I should or should not care about my body. I should care whenever my body needs it. In direct sense, okay, this is why I actually started this message, and then it took a very different turn, and I did talk really deeply about different two subjects. I'll summarize it once more. One is surrendering, letting go, trusting the process and trusting yourself. And two, taking your stand, allowing yourself to understand that my pain needs attention. Okay, I need to sleep. This actually changes a lot. The self love, if we do not have self love, this is going to be more harmful, 10 times more harmful after a baby. And that's why I believe angels asked me to say about the baby example. Like, I need to sleep, especially when the baby comes out. The sleep kind of does get affected. And if it is the complete responsibility of a mother, you know what I mean. You know where I'm going. So yes, take your stand. I need this. I am sick and I need to rest. And you need to understand. And if you do not understand, I do not care. I understand myself and I'm going to go someplace else where I can rest. I need to rest. I need to have this positive, peaceful environment, taking that stand. So that's taking that stand, one. And the second one was um, trusting the universe. That's how we self care. The third point, as per the physical body, is whatever our body needs, we give it to ourselves. This is what looks like it's obvious, because let me tell you what I mean. It's like peeing when you have to pee, going to washroom, in other words, when you have to, eating when you have to eat, when you're hungry, drinking water when you are thirsty. Okay. One more thing. Sneezing and farting when you have to. What people do is, I don't know about, obviously fart is something I know about it, but it's embarrassing, we shouldn't do it in public, blah blah blah. But some people are even embarrassed by their own sneeze, and they try to stop it. You know how harmful that is. It's like it's a force that is, I don't know. Just search on the YouTube or Google about what happens if you would shut your sneezing. And obviously, these all sounds like very obvious. Like, obviously sneezing is okay. Who cares? Like, sneezing is, you know obvious and all that. Eating and going to the washroom is obviously self care. But what I'm saying is, when we are in the meeting, or when we are in doing any job or something, or even when we are in house, we have this stupid mentality that, what, once I'm done with this job, I will go to pee. We we care for ourselves really last. Like, something can wait. I'll tell you much more truer example. Once I am done with this video, or whatever video I'm watching on the YouTube, that can be paused, I will go to pee. No, no, don't stop yourself. That's not right. And I'm saying this obviously because I have done this, and there was just incident like I was in a public there was a public washroom, and I didn't like it. It was not clean. I just didn't go to the washroom at all um, for like 6 hours. 6 hours. I held it for 6 hours, and then trust me, it started paining. My body started to pain, and I couldn't recover from that pain. Like after 6 hours, I came home, and then I obviously peed myself. Obviously, like not outside. I peed in the washroom. Um, but then it was paining for like 20 minutes straight. I have applied some lotion, and like we do have some medicine in our house. I applied that. It just didn't budge. It didn't help. Obviously, after some time, it faded away, but then you know what I mean. It's not a healthy sign. It's not a healthy thing to stop ourselves to do that. It's not. Why are we giving something else a priority? You know what? The boss is talking to us right now. It would be really embarrassing to just go to the washroom right now. I think I'll just check whether I have periods later on. Why? Why do we give so much of importance to the outside world? That can wait. And about the diet, about the food, there are so many people that are going on a quote diet. I'm quoting this thing because that's not even real thing. It's not a real thing. As I said earlier, this is all my belief. I believe my body understands what I need. I believe my body knows what I want, what is best for us. If the internet was to tell you that you would be allergic to peanuts, you like, I mean, what? How come we are giving the importance to the outside world and not to our own body? Like my body knows best. If I eat peanuts, I have allergic reaction. That's how I know that I'm not. It's not a healthy thing for me to eat peanuts. That happens all the time. When we drinks, I don't know. It definitely has happened to me. I cannot think of the examples right now. Okay, I can think about something. When I'm drinking coffee or something on an empty stomach, I feel acidic. I feel gassy. So that's how I know that that's not something my stomach is okay with. My body always knows what is right for me. And even in terms of sexuality, my body knows what is right for me. 100%. But in terms of sexuality, I will talk about it later on. And I genuinely don't think that this is my right place to talk about it. Um I don't know, it's like my personal thing. But yeah, I mean, I know what I need. My body knows what I need. My body is letting me know what I need. And I am like, you know what, this is optional. I can go now or I can go later. I can eat now or I can eat later. Sneeze, I should stop it as much as I can. That is embarrassing, etc., etc., etc. These are the basic things our body says to us all the time. This is our body because of which we are surviving. I mean, this is so ridiculous. People are saying, you know what, don't eat food if you want to be slim. Who says that? I would believe that is misogynistic jackasses who says that. Yes, I would believe this. It has nothing to do with food all the time. Sometimes it's genetics, sometimes it's fat. Yes, sometimes it is fat. Some other times it is blah blah blah. I don't care what the reasons is, but that doesn't mean you have to starve. And this is also portrayed in the song "Scarcity or Beautiful," where the girl mentions that a lady she's saying in a she language she starved herself, and then she's like, this is what models do, I should do it even more, so what, I can go a little bit longer, and then she fades away, she faints. Like, people are so crazily believing in other world, in the outside world, that they do not care what their body is telling them. Their body is giving, trust me, our body is always giving us awareness and alarm all the time, saying that, you know what, now I need to eat, you know what, now I need to go, you know what, now I need to, you know now I need some action in my life, you know what, I need whatever, now I need to sneeze. Just, therefore the third point is, listen to your body. Your body knows best what is right for you. Okay, if your body would have been, having problems with what you are eating, it would have given you reactions already. If there was reactions and then you are like, yeah, there is reaction, but then I am in love with what I eat, who cares, just eat that. Make some reservations or something, just change a little bit of routine. For example, I love to drink coffee. So if my body is like, um by the way, I would do two things. Okay, so if my body is not okay with me having coffee in the empty stomach, I could either do two things. One is, you know drink sorry, I could drink water and then have coffee, or else I could eat some food or snacks before I eat, before I drink coffee. I can do that, right? I just love coffee. Who cares how I'm consuming it? If you love, for example, if you love junk food, and if you know that junk food is not right for you, eat that junk food and immediately right after that, go for a walk, or, you know, do an exercise. Not like right after that. Walking you can do right after you eat food, it doesn't matter. But when it comes to exercise, there has to be some like 30 minutes or some gap. That's what makes us feel good. Also, listen to your body. If your body is like super exhausted after 30 minutes of eating food and to do the exercise, then the 30 minutes gap is not right for you. Try a 2 hour gap. And if you have a 2 hour gap and then you are doing a heavy exercise or something, and your body is completely okay with it, as if nothing is happening, you're not um, you know you're not breathing heavily, you're not exhausted, then this is right for you. Your body will tell you what is right for you. Always trust your body. Always trust yourself. Okay? Okay? Um, as I said earlier, I would do two things if I would, you know. The second thing might be something that I would advise for an energy exchange. Okay, I wouldn't advise it right now because it doesn't feel right. I believe that there is an energy exchange that we need to have. Okay, so if you do need another advice, you can always ping me up on the email ID or Instagram um, link that I have provided on the description down below. If you do not, this is more than sufficient of the messages that I have given you right now. Like literally more than sufficient, because it's more than an hour of messages. Guys, this is everything you need. This is what self love is. This is what you need. Just follow your heart, follow your body, and take your stand. Do not be afraid of taking your stand, and let go. Allow the universe to play the part. Allow your husband or your family to help you. Now it's time that you accept the help, okay? Okay, this was it. I am really pleased to talk to you guys. I hope that this message was helpful. Let me know who all have um, listened to this messages till the end in the comments down below. I would like to know that, okay? Okay, that's it. Bye.